I am Great Mother, Holy Spirit, Yin, Divine Mother, Cosmic Womb.
Hello, these readings are for those of us who are experiencing mama drama trauma, a condition in which I should say experiencing this lifetime, because it is a lifetime thing. It's not just kind of like this casual situation. Mama drama trauma, MDT. It is a condition in which the mother projects unhealed aspects of herself onto her child, causing emotional and or physical trauma. In cases where she is unable, unavailable, unwilling, not ready, she's not able. Many times she's unavailable because she's transitioned, from this life. So when she's not ready to heal her own MDT, because it is a cycle, loving detachment is required in order for the child to live a happy, healthy, and whole life. So somebody's got to break the cycle, right? That is what this channel is about. That is what Great Mother speaks to with regard to the oracle deck that she channeled through me. And so she speaks to all of her children. I have just really been serving in the capacity of working with this oracle deck to help us live in loving detachment. And what is that? Loving detachment is accepting what is. And what is that Mama Drama Trauma is a soul contract that we made with our mother and with all of the main characters involved, our father, specific siblings, aunties, uncles that are involved in this drama, okay? That allows us to evolve in two things: self-love and spiritual independence. So the soul gets to a point in its experiencing and its lifetimes that it recognizes that the lack of self-love is preventing its enjoyment of life, of its full potential in experiencing life. And in order to have self-love, we have to be forced to love ourselves. And the universe is so magnificent and so wise that, of course, it's through experiencing mama drama trauma that one is forced to learn to love oneself. What could be a better teacher? It is through this experience of mama drama trauma, however, that also in the glorious beauty and just majesty, this eloquence, that we develop spiritual independence. In other words, to love ourselves truly is to connect to Great Mother Father God in the way that feels right to us. We are divine children. And the invocation for the Great Mother Speaks Oracle deck for all readers and for those of you who receive the readings is, I am a divine child of the Great Mother Father God who is dearly loved. I am a dearly loved child of the Great Mother Father God. That means anything that I experience, anything that I look upon, that I hear, that I smell, that I taste, that I touch, that touches me, that happens to me, or that I experience in any way, affirms that. Get into that. It affirms that. Anything. Mama drama trauma. My mother beating me affirms that I am a dearly loved child of the Great Mother Father God. How is that? Because I know I'm a dearly loved child of the Great Mother Father God, I am never judged, condemned, or left alone. And so, if anything in my experience smacks of that, that experience is something that is telling me that I'm not in alignment with my identity. And so I have to go within to connect with that. We hear a lot about the law of attraction and cause and effect and how we create our experience. The problem is, because we don't know that we are truly divine gods and goddesses, we talk a bunch of smack. But because we don't truly know that, we don't take responsibility for that identity. We don't fully take responsibility for it. We drop off. When it's not fun anymore, we drop off on that. That don't mean that no more. Yeah, that's what it means. We have to connect with it in order to benefit, in order to receive all the benefits of that identity. That's why the deck has gods and goddesses in it, our brothers and sisters. There are so many gods and goddesses. When I was making this deck, you see how big this book is? I have books of gods and goddesses. I mean, it's just because we all are. Okay, we all have our hero and our heroine's journey. we all do. It's just who is willing to go there is who gets remembered as an archetype. Who's willing to go there? Who's willing to do it? And that's what this deck is about. That's what these readings are about, is who amongst us is really willing to fully go there and embrace that divinity that says that if I'm experiencing this divinity as something that's telling me I am condemned, I am unworthy, I am to be shamed, I am to be blamed for something, I'm to be guilted for something, there is something within me that is creating that experience, even as a child. Because Great Mother, Father, God, they don't see us as anything other than the invocation of who we are. There is no age. There is no, all that stuff. No, you're a divine child, whether you are in embryo or the physical manifestation is a reflection of who you are and who you have created yourself to be. We are a reflection of our souls. That's why we talk about the chakras, the energy centers that are the connective tissue to the souls that we are a part of. Don't worry. We are but one skull that will soon be in the ground that our soul has had. It's just that in this one, are we going to choose to take that journey that the soul intends to take with this contract to evolve in self-love and spiritual independence? That's it. That's it. Is it an easy journey? Absolutely not. So what facilitates it is the spiritual independence, is that personal relationship with the Great Mother, Father, God, that is not about the polarity of good and bad or good and evil. There's no such thing as evil. There is ignorance of the law, okay? People either do things that are out of the flow of love and creation because they're ignorant of it. And we all have been there because we all are evolving. That's why we're never judged and condemned. How can you be judged and condemned and that's what you're here for, to evolve? Doesn't make sense. So divinity, identity is about the polarity of yin and yang energy. Great Mother, Father, God energy. So we talk about the moon, that emotional aspect. Of course, our sun sign is that ego. It is that outer expression of the soul, which in Great Mother speak is not a negative thing. The ego is necessary. It's the vehicle that the soul needs to have to be in this earthly classroom, which is a dense space. It's a very abrasive space. And so no one is denying that. Why would we? We're divine. We can handle it. If we're taught that we can't, however, it complicates things, and things have been complicated due to this ignorance, due to this perceptual evil or whatever. And now we're coming to an age where we're realizing that the true polarity has to do with energy. It's the electromagnetic field. And this is very, very exciting. And this is where the Great Mother Speaks Oracle deck enters. And so I hope that you enjoy this reading at this particular time, especially as we enter the year 2020. Hello, Aquarius moon sign people. The two different outfits are because this is being taped over 2 days. But alas, this is not about me. It is about you. If your moon sign is Pisces in the tropical astrology, more than likely you are Aquarius in the Vedic. But you want to check the links below to be sure, and watch whichever one resonates with you. The Western moon sign is earth-centric, it's earth-oriented astrology, and so if you are more emotionally embedded in your relationship with Great Mother, your relationship is more from a very embedded perspective from this lifetime, then tropical astrology will make more sense to you, as opposed to if you have been doing a lot of inner work, as many of my clients have, with loving detachment, and you are in a state of observing your emotions for the most part and acting from that observation in terms of what you are intuitively downloading. Okay, you're downloading and then you're observing your emotions, that kind of practice, which takes a while to connect those dots because we're not taught that. But if you've been doing that kind of work for a period of time, you've been healing your own MDT, you certainly have been doing that work for a long time, and may very well be empathic, then the Vedic astrology will work really well for you. Now, these are soul readings, and so we use the Vedic astrology, and we use the chakras. And so your soul is wanting to do the work on in your central position, Aquarius moon sign, Sphinx energy, that great goddess, a god according to the Greeks. But Egyptians, she's a goddess of wisdom, the high teacher, the sage, the origin of the phrase when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And so a teacher has appeared in your life, and throat chakra energy is mercurial energy. So we have Mercury right now in Sagittarius, which is where the party's happening. Okay, everybody's in Sagittarius. 6 planets, 7, including Pluto, during the eclipse, which is the party that's coming up on the 25th, the solar eclipse. This for you is 11th house energy. So either you are the sage who's teaching people, which is more along the lines of Aquarian energy, or you are being taught by the collective consciousness something that you have been unaware of up until this point. So pay attention to the alternate interpretations. This is a general reading. In your central position is Sphinx. This is the face the challenge card. So this is a challenge that you're facing. Some of you, it may be a great challenge with this eclipse happening in your 11th house and all of the planets during this time of this reading converging upon the nakshatra of Mula, the constellation that this eclipse is occurring in. I know the sun and the moon will be in it, as well as Mercury, Pluto, Saturn, the South Node, Jupiter. A lot of powerful 11th house energy for you. And so I'm getting this mercurial energy, this communicative energy due to 5th chakra. Facing the challenge for others of speaking this new truth that has come to you or that is coming to you through this process. This is being brought up by Coventina energy, purification. There is a perspective that you've had in the past that is being purified to something new from your heart. This is heart chakra energy. This is heart knowing. And so you have changed how you felt about something. You've changed your worldview based on what the world has shown you, or you are sharing your changed worldview with the world. This could be happening now or as a result of the energies that are converging during this eclipse, the lunar eclipse that's happening on the 10th, and then the Pluto-Saturn conjunction on the 13th. So this is kind of like a trilogy of energies that are spinning off. Those of you who are already in this place that I'm speaking of in this reading, this will be amplified or transformed during these events. Or if this hasn't happened, this is sounding kind of foreign to you, you're beginning to feel these energies culminate. Because what's in your shadow position is acknowledged. And so that says that you haven't acknowledged what I'm saying yet. It hasn't hit you on a root chakra level as a reality. This is balsamic moon energy. It hasn't been downloaded to you and through you yet. And balsamic moon energy is exactly, what's coming up. The root chakra is ruled by Saturn. And so Saturn rules Capricorn and Aquarius, your moon sign. So, it hasn't been grounded in you yet. The new moons of Capricorn Aquarius coming up, however, will do so. For those of you that it has been grounded for you, it was grounded during the Capricorn balsamic moon. The Capricorn balsamic moon happens right before the Aquarius new moon. So that means that this happened to you almost a year ago. And all of the eclipses and things that have happened since Saturn and Pluto have been moving closer together in the year of 2019 has brought this to your attention, but you haven't acted on it yet. You haven't acted on it yet. Okay, for those of you who have acknowledged what I'm sharing with you about facing this challenge, about a revised perspective from your heart about the world, or what you need to teach the world, what you're feeling that needs to come through you to the world. You're wanting to write this out. This is Adi Shakti, primordial womb energy. Again, Mula Nakshatra is in the center of the cosmos. It is a nakshatra that embodies the energy of something being uprooted that is of no longer any service to us or is a lie. It does not resonate with the truth. And it's being replaced by, it's opening up space for something that does serve, to a seeding, so to speak. This is waning gibbous moon energy, and so this happens right after the full bloom. So you are not in that space yet of seeding. So most of you, this is not happening until the Capricorn and Aquarius new upcoming moons. Because what you're wanting is to rest in primordial womb energy, which is happening now. You're wanting to rest in that energy. You're wanting to, this is the scene of the Twister dream in The Wizard of Oz. As we see, Dorothy is the poster child, literally, of Mama Drama Trauma here in my office. So, this scene of the Twister dream, this is when Dorothy had done all that she could do. You know, she had run away from home trying to save Toto, which symbolizes her intuition, trusting these downloads coming from the primordial womb, coming from Mula, coming from that distinct truth that they got that stank on it, that is just what it is. And that is what MDT is. It is just what it is. And we dance around it and we dance around it until we can't anymore. And so what you're doing is you're being supported by Pachamama, which is an energy that is really going to allow you to leave a bad situation. It's going to allow you to recognize at least that a situation is no longer serving you with all of this energy being uprooted. You're going to clearly see that. And so that's supporting you to rest in the womb of Great Mother. You're going to really realize, I can't do anything, and that may be very, very difficult for you, but that is the worldview that is changing. We can't heal everybody. We can't save everybody. You know, people have to save themselves. They're just as divine as I am. You know, my mother's just as divine as I am. As much as great mother has helped to heal me, she helped to heal anybody. We have to be willing, able, and ready. We have to be ready. You know, we have to be willing, and it won't happen until we are. So I'm getting that that is being released because your present state of ego soul alignment is the law of divine mother. I mean, you are acting on your birthright to be happy, healthy, and whole. You are realizing I've done all I can do. You know, I'm really needing to just feel the love of great mother, trust my gut in this process, and let go. Let go of what is not serving me, let go of what is not allowing me to face the challenge of what my soul work is here to do. You know, to share truths with people, to share challenging things with people, to help people with their challenging truths, or to shift my view of the world. This is so pivotal for me to accept the fact that I have a soul contract to evolve in self-love and spiritual independence. So again, it's either a shifting of my worldview or I'm doing the work to help others acknowledge the worldview. You might be doing work helping others who have mama drama trauma in your capacity. You know, I work with many people who are coaches and psychologists in this area. So you may be the one who is sharing this shifted worldview with other people as you have been doing your work of purifying. That's coming through with more clarity, with more balance, more confirmation of how to work with these energies, and you're teaching other people to do that. This is why your soul wants to do this work. Your soul wants to do this work of facing the challenge because it's allowing you to surrender to your soul, to surrender to this purification process. Your soul has made this decision to do this because the Yemaya, the oceanic, you know, surrender of love, of commitment without attachment energy is all about being able to let go of those addictions that keep us bound to what doesn't serve us. And you're being assisted with a lot of Martian energy. Mars rules the gut chakra. Okay, so why your soul wants to do this work of facing the challenge of this shift in worldview or sharing this worldview is because your soul is wanting to surrender to what it knows. It's wanting to surrender to that. And how it's doing it is by taking responsibility for what it has downloaded and what it's downloading over this trilogy of events. So this waning gibbous energy is all about sharing, you know, taking responsibility to share what you've learned, taking responsibility to walk the path, the yellow brick road, that chakra, to walk the path of what you know. So this is a very transformative, fluid energy that I'm sensing here of releasing a groundedness in something that it's not going to change, and in fact it's being uprooted, but at the same time what's being planted is a more grounded sense with yourself. And so maybe a need to take time with in nature. Maybe you're doing that. Maybe you are taking a vacation somewhere so you can be in nature, or you are just doing it yourself, spending more time outside, enjoying the cold, enjoying hanging out, breathing the crisp air, that kind of thing. Just taking responsibility for the blessings that you have as a divine child at this time is what's coming through. And you are facing this challenge of doing it. It's not easy to change. It's not easy to transform. And with Saturn being in your 11th house, it's forcing you to really look at how you are relating to others, why you are relating to others, what your intention is, why you're doing what you're doing with groups, with people, and being selective with those groups and those peoples in order to fulfill your purpose, in order to experience what you are here to experience via your birthright. And at this particular time, this regrounding is not complete. It is, again, between the time of the filming of this reading and the Capricorn new moon and Aquarius new moon, respectively, happening here January and February. February and March. I get into March as well. That the rage, there's just some suppressed anger about all of this transformation. Saturn is obstinate. It is not going to change easily. It's old. It represents old. That's why it's so wise. It's just concerned with you fulfilling your soul purpose. And so it's not all into the emotions about it, but you get some emotions about it. And so what Great Mother wants you to know is that what's going to be helpful for you is to do the grounding work, spending time outside in nature, breathing the crisp air, just making sure that you are doing breath work as well, because you are going through a lot of changes. You're going through a tremendous amount of transformations. And so you need to acknowledge that, and you need to allow yourself to express your frustrations. That's part of the challenge. Let people know. I know that I was guided this year, 2019, at the very beginning of it. Tammy, as you are working with this new deck and you are doing things, you're learning it as you're downloading, but you learn by teaching. And so let people know, I don't know everything. I'm still learning. And so could you tell me how, this card makes you feel? What is your visual reaction to it? And so that's why it took so long, those of you who've been watching for a little while, for it to really kind of come together, because sometimes Great Mother wants us to, when we're upset about something, well, all the time, she wants us to work it out, pull it out, because we do have a birthright to be happy, and we're not happy because we're not understanding something, or we're impatient about something. And so just like any good mother, she kind of distract us from what's making us mad, so that we can feel like we're getting what we want. And we do end up getting what we want. We didn't know that's what we wanted, though, because we're just kids. We just know we want something. And I just knew I just wanted this deck to be done, so that I could just, do what I wanted to do, in the guidebook and everything. And it all turned out beautifully. Thank you so much, people, for supporting and everything. But the process was, like, okay, so what does this mean? And so how am I going to relate this? And how do I articulate this? And that's transformation. That's normal. So the edict here with this outcome of suppressed anger is to pull it out, get it out, let other people know that's what you're doing. This is very challenging for me, I would say. And so I'm still learning. And so could you help me with such and such? Or sometimes you might just say, could you help me understand? Because this is really making me feel some kind of way. And I know that, I'm already on 10. So could you please explain this to me in a way? Sometimes you just have to get like that with people so that you can maintain your cool. And it's a distraction from the anger, quote unquote, but it's really not. It's really, again, getting you to what you want. And that's what we ultimately want. We do want the connection. And so that's what you're doing. You're facing the challenge of finding that within yourself as you integrate this new world view that you have. Some of you are integrating what wisdom has come through this purification process for you. We've all gone through purification in 2019, and it's coming up for you, and you're facing the challenge of now living according to that and surrendering yourself enough to your soul to speak truthfully of that. So be patient with yourself, be loving with yourself as you take responsibility. That is not a condemnation. Take responsibility. Take responsibility is more, take responsibility for your divinity, because you have the support that you need to be, to do, and to have all things. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that helped you at this time, and that it brought you some clarity with regard to what you may be experiencing or what you may be sensing and anticipating is coming for you. Above all and most of all, remember, Great Mother loves you, and I do too.
I am Great Mother, Holy Spirit, Yin, Divine Mother, Cosmic Womb, Deep Space, the Moon, Dark Matter, the Void, the Black Hole, Hathor, Isis, Diana, Mami Ishtar, Kali, Mammy, and Mother.
Great Mother speaks to us in raw